Today's adventure is a super one. As a recording of this, we have our first teaser of the upcoming Superman Legacy. Now, if it wasn't for the Man of Steel, for Chris Reeve, undoubtedly the best Superman, the greatest Superman, and we hold everything else so accountable because of that. I could go around and show off all my Superman stuff, but if you've been following the channel, you know I'm big on superheroes, especially Superman. If it wasn't for Superman, I wouldn't be as big into all of this. You know, the Justice League. It's gonna be heavy DC, I'll admit. It's gotta be. Because it's Superman. I've been holding on to this tin probably since 2003, 2004. I have never seen this anywhere else. It's just, you know, all the different Superman we've seen throughout the years. This one has stuck with me. I have so much that we're not going to spend time just going through everything, but I thought after seeing the teaser, I want to give my reaction on a movie that I had a lot of questions, and a lot of that got answered today. Welcome to today's video as a recording of this Thursday, December 19th, 2024, the day that we get a teaser trailer of Superman. Now, first of all, I'm not sure if it's Superman or Superman Legacy, because we can search Superman movie 2025 and it will say Superman. You can search Superman Legacy and it will come up Superman Legacy 2025. So I'm not sure if they've removed Legacy or if it's simply Superman Legacy. So I'm going to call it Superman Legacy just from here on out so there's no confusion. I know that there's been, you know, a lot of debating, a lot of reshooting, a lot of questions, worries that have they gone too far? Is this movie gonna be our typical what to expect from DC? And all of that, everything that I have seen personally, I was worried until the teaser. And from that teaser, I want to go over a couple of things that I have noticed. And to be honest with you, kind of a spoiler alert, trying to jumping a little ahead of the end of this video, I like what I see. And this is what I mean is if you just search Superman, you'll see right here, 2025 action adventure. This is the movie. And then right underneath, you'll see Superman Legacy. So I'm not sure. A lot can happen. Again, this is the teaser, but it's Superman we know, but they might take on Legacy when it's all said and done. Regardless, it's a Superman movie, and we know the official release date. It's July 11th, 2025. Did notice a couple of things from this sneak peek, this teaser trailer. And just to kind of go back, not that I'm knocking any superhero movie. The fact of the matter is, I'm going to hold myself accountable for this too, is we have such high expectations for superhero movies because we've seen the best. We've seen Marvel movies that have just went unbelievable, forming the Avengers. Solo movies, building. We've seen Michael Keaton portray Batman, Chris Reeve portray Superman, and then everything before that. I want to kind of just stick with Superman. It's a very hard, comic superhero to portray on the big screen. Going back to the first live action was Kirk Alyn, followed by George Reeves, Christopher Reeve, and then we're getting Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, followed by Henry Cavill. And out of all of those actors, there was something good to take from it. We may not have liked the storyline, but every character portrayed their version of Superman and everything else that was involved. The Fortress of Solitude, Lex Luthor, this villain, that villain, his love interests were all different. They all kind of came back to strange being from another planet. Jonathan and Martha Kent grows up, unbelievable powers, can leap tall buildings with a single bound, faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. The difference with James Gunn's version, and there's a lot of, panic, and I'm to blame with that. I was worried seeing images, and it goes by the thing, don't judge a book by its cover. We see a couple images online and we're freaking out. I did not like the way the costume looked, the way the suit looked for this Superman. After watching the teaser, it's like it all came together. the first thing I noticed was this is going to be a very colorful movie. Instantly, we see Krypto. We have never seen Krypto in a live version. In shows, yes, but in movies. As far as a Superman movie, never before have we seen Krypto. And I'm interested in how they're going to tell this story. Was Krypto in the rocket ship with Kal-El? Did Jor-El physically put Krypto, or did he get Krypto some other way? Did he come from Star Labs? Was it a creation of Lex Luthor? What spin, what angle will they take? Because I would love to see Krypto in the ship, and I'm sure they'll do a flashback, flying to Earth, because he is, the fact that they showed him in this sneak peek, you know that Krypto's gonna have a major role in this movie. I did take a couple of screenshots during the teaser, and for the first time ever, we have Krypto. He has the cape, he has the superpowers, and he has the S on the back of that cape. Pretty much anything I see Krypto, I'll jump all over it. And I can't tell you how excited I am that we're gonna see Krypto in a Superman movie. And he may not look exactly the way that Krypto looks in this toy, you know, in the comic, a cartoon, but he's pretty close, and it's that version. Again, you know, it's a director, it's their idea, and from what I saw, I'm excited to see how big of a, you know, impact Krypto will be in this movie. But you know, if they show him in the teaser, I'm sure he's going to be a huge factor in this movie. Also, you can go the Superman trunks or no trunks, and you know, you could get by with either. I mean, this is pretty much the Henry Cavill. Like, this is what we got with the Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman. They kind of go back, kind of a twist between the New 52 and, of course, you know, just your classic retro-looking Superman. And this is pretty much the Superman we're getting in this movie. Even if, like, CGI has something to do with as far as the way the suit looks on him, I like the way it looks. It looked baggy, it looked loose from all the images that I saw. And again, this is just a teaser, but for the amount of shots that they showed of Superman, it just looked like everything had come together. Something else that came together was, you know, finally getting a look at Guy Gardner, a Green Lantern that we've never seen live action before. Look, you can kind of see Hawkgirl here off to the side, and you know, just from the overall look, they're not their true costumes, they're suits. But this shot right here, it kind of came together, didn't it? Like, again, we can't judge this by its cover. You start seeing the finished product, and Guy Gardner all of a sudden looks like Guy Gardner. The same with Hawkgirl. And if you're not familiar with Guy Gardner, don't feel like you're alone. A lot of people probably never heard of Guy Gardner before. He's a Green Lantern, and the actor portraying him pretty much pulled off this look pretty good. And we may see this suit, this outfit, but as far as what we see, that's their take, and we'll see how it all comes together. But Guy Gardner, like, it's a Justice League, but it's not the way that they're going to incorporate some of these characters. I think it's going to come together, and it's going to surprise a lot of us. Now, what's Superman without his fortress? Without his fortress of solitude? And, you know, if you follow the comics, the cartoons, the movies, Superman has several different fortresses of solitudes depending on, you know, the artist at the time, the director, you know, someone's take on where should this fortress be. And for me, the fortress should always be, you know, just what I'm used to in the snow, in a cold environment, whether it's the North Pole, and it's how we saw it in Superman with Christopher Reeve. It was Richard Donner's take on, this is the fortress of solitude, like an ice castle, a crystal castle. And we saw that again in Superman Returns, a little bit of it in Smallville, and in this movie, we see the fortress, and there was a little sneak peek of the fortress. Not to mention another character that it looked like Superman was kind of upset, And I'll zoom in on this shot. It looks like it is inside the fortress, and I can kind of guess who this character could be. And I took 2 pictures of the fortress. So it is, in fact, the fortress that most of us have come, pretty much accustomed to. And this shot of this robot, and I could be wrong, it looks like this is the inside of the Fortress of Solitude. You can kind of see the beams. There's obviously, assistant for Superman, for Kal-El, inside of the fortress. And whether somebody broke in, we know that Lex Luthor's in this. What other villains, Maxwell Lord could have found out where Superman's base is and destroyed his robot, because Superman does look pretty upset about it. Knowing that Krypto is also present, I'm guessing that this is, in fact, inside the fortress. And yes, what's Superman without Lex Luthor? And Lex is best known for his company, Luthor Corp. I don't know if I've ever had any issues with any actor who portrays Lex Luthor. It's the story that always bothered me, or the action. But as far as Lex, I think they found a good Lex Luthor here. I mean, it's good that Lex is in this. And I'm excited to see how Lex will be in this movie. And also another character, Metamorpho. And you can see the purple on his shoulder, the orange on the other shoulder. His face, I'll compare it to the toy here. I think they nailed it. I mean, they got the color scheme right. I mean, I think the face, going off like a comic or a toy, the face is going to look different. Of course, the movies always look different, but I think the route that they're going, taking Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Metamorpho, you're bringing in a Green Lantern, just not Hal Jordan, not John Stewart. This should be interesting on their take on why they chose these characters and not like the bigs, like the Flash or Wonder Woman. Why we're getting Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, and the Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. And also, what could this be? I mean, this is clearly, you see Superman on the far left going up against a huge monster. Probably, if you watch the beginning, when Krypto does kind of pull him away after he whistles for him, which I almost got emotional. I'm telling you, this is going to be a deep movie. Maybe this is what he was going up against. Maybe something from Maxwell Lord. And maybe some stuff, we haven't seen yet. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we do have Mr. Terrific too. So actually, this actor did portray an X-Men in X-Men First Class. So back in another superhero movie, this time Mr. Terrific. So kind of a C cast Justice League, but I think there's a purpose for those 4 characters. A reason why they chose those 4 characters versus other characters, what I think is they'll come together at one point in the movie, and I think that there's going to be some conflict in the beginning. Now, from what I'm hearing, this isn't going to be like them telling the story again. We're not going to see Krypton blowing up again unless it's a flashback. Maybe there'll be some scenes at the Kent farm. But I think Superman's going to be established from the beginning. Lois Lane is in this movie. Cat Grant is in this movie. Jimmy Olsen. We're going to see everything, adult Clark Kent here. And I think this could be early on in Superman's career. And maybe these heroes are under Maxwell Lord. I mean, a lot has to be told here. But for the most part, I think the choosing these guys to go along with Superman it's going to work out. And it's going to really surprise a lot of us. Like the color in this movie, it just looks so vibrant that we haven't seen it. We can take things from like Batman with Michael Keaton or Superman with Christopher Reeve, Henry Cavill, Brandon Routh. We can take the good and the bad out of these movies. We have put Superman and Batman so high up that anything that they do, we're judging it. We're like, well, he's no Michael Keaton, he's no Christian Bale, he's no Christopher Reeve. This is going to be, I'm guessing, more of a true comic book movie. You're going to see the colors. You're going to see the yellow S on the back. You have Krypto. There's going to be things that we're not used to. Because, when we're looking at movies compared to cartoons, to toys, to comics, the movies always seem to be a little bit different. Take X-Men, for example. We don't see Wolverine in like yellow tights until 2024 when he's with Deadpool. Leading up to that, there's reasons behind that. People have kind of stayed clear, you know, the Smallville, the no tights, no flight rule. But us diehards, us fans, we want to see it. And I think they're taking all of that and combining it, saying, this is how this would look in the real world if we're going to go to this look, this color scheme. So after seeing the teaser, I'm excited. I wasn't super excited leading up to it. I am a huge Superman fan. If it wasn't for Superman, I would not be into all this, into all of these superheroes, Marvel, Batman. It starts off with Superman, and I have high expectations. I think this is going to be a fun movie, but regardless of any superhero movie we see, to always take note that it's a superhero movie, and sometimes we just gotta like it and watch it for what it is. Let me know what you think of the teaser. It got me by surprise. It honestly did. I kind of thought of, you know, I want to do a video on this. I want to talk about what I saw. And the teaser is about 2 minutes long, maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Like everything that they threw in on there, it was like, wow, this is just a teaser. There's so much other stuff that they haven't shown yet, and I'm sure there's so much editing to do and maybe reshooting, but I like what I've seen so far. So let me know what you think. I want to thank everybody for watching. I love Superman. I am a Superman fanatic. When we go out and we're doing videos, I'll call the Marvel, and I'm a big Marvel guy. You can see underneath, I do have my Guardians of the Galaxy t-shirt on. You know, I thought that if I put on my Guardian shirt, James Gunn, I think he did a great job with Guardians. Peacemaker, I'm not sure. I don't think it's bad, but I'm hoping this Superman isn't really Peacemaker. I think that a lot of us fear that. But it's early, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on what I thought of Superman Legacy. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. I think it really came together. I like the way this looks, and it doesn't look baggy. And I think maybe CGI did have something to do with it, but if this is the finished product, we're not going to be thinking CGI, we're just going to be thinking, this is Superman. Who would have ever thought we'd have Guy Gardner, Metamorpho, and Superman in a movie together? Like, think about that. If I had Hawkgirl, obviously I'd throw her in, and Mr. Terrific. What a cast. You know, you talk about taking a chance. Taking pretty much an unknown Green Lantern. I think there's a reason why McFarlane decided to go Guy Gardner in 2024. Metamorpho. Very interesting. This is my favorite. Render as Superman. It's just not the fortress without the snow, is it? I mean, is it just me? I mean, that's the first place that I ever saw it was, you know, when he threw that green crystal and it just, in the snow, and it turned into the Fortress of Solitude. And they're going back to that route. And I thought, you know, the snow in the back here, snowing pretty good, just reminds me, like, that's what it's meant to be. You know, in the snow. It's coming down pretty good. Look at this. Yeah, total Fortress of Solitude vibes tonight.